I guess they're very long days. So what are some of your tips for getting through the day? And you have a beautiful personality and great charisma. So how do you keep up all day when you're exhausted?
Yeah, it is really hard work. I was telling somebody just the other day who's not a horse person and said to them, I might be on a microphone from 7:30 in the morning right through to 9 o'clock at night, and they're sort of like, oh my God, I sort of think the poor people listening to me all day because I feel like I'm repeating myself. But most people sort of say, no, that doesn't feel like it's the case. But yeah, they are long days and, sometimes 12 hours on a microphone. And I don't like to stop because I think, you've got to bring that to, bring the event or help create the event the whole time. So I don't like, having downtime. So I push myself, really far. I in my full-time job, I often take the time off, leave or, take some leave and go and do a horse show and then come back to my full-time job. So I'm running into an event already exhausted. So I really am a sucker for punishment. But I guess the first thing is that I absolutely love it. I really love the opportunity to do it. I really, it's really me. And if people that know me know that it's really me. So, it's definitely something I love. So you have to love it. Otherwise, it's really like, it'd be like pulling teeth. I think though, finding the opportunities though throughout the day as well as where you can lean on other people, whether it's an interview, those sorts of people help pick you back up, rather than feeling like you're the only one in this bubble. Bringing other people into that helps you kind of keep your energy levels up. I think that's great. Yeah, and finding where you can use those opportunities to pick yourself up. Often, we might be going through classes, but when you get to a championship, that kind of lifts your energy as well. So, when you get to something really special. And what I love the most is, interviewing a rider at a really special moment for them, whether it is a smaller show or a bigger show, that really kind of keeps me going. I like that emotional moment when people, when the tears happen, but that, it's the joy and it's all of that, that combination of the hard work and all of that energy that comes together. So I really find that moment, those moments really quite special. So I use different moments throughout the day to keep my sort of energy levels up. And of course, you can't be up all the time, but you try to be. And I guess just at the end of the day, really finding that time to just to switch off, kind of thing. People think I'm always have this really high energy. I do while I'm in front of people. And in my job in hospitality, I'm very much up and about. But when I get home, it is, I live by myself here, but it's my downtime. I get home and I just switch off and, kind of re-energize. But yeah, they're long days, and particularly like sore feet. You're on your feet the whole day. I don't like to sit down in a little booth at the back somewhere. I'm, in front of people, and I like doing that. But yeah, for me, it's very much about what I love, and that keeps me going. So yeah, if I didn't love it, I definitely wouldn't be in front of with a microphone in my hand out there for 12 hours a day, 3 days in a row, or whatever it might be.
They are certainly long days, and I can appreciate the sore feet. You touched on some of your tips there of getting through the day, but for people who want to go out there and pick up a microphone, have you got any other tips you want to talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first thing is really know your subject. Like I said earlier, go and learn as much as you can. I'm really lucky that I find this, I'm able to bring two things that I love. One is, being in front of people and talking and that kind of front facing kind of element, and then the showing thing. So being able to bring the two together is a really great synergy for me. It really works. People kind of, I emceed weddings and things. I'm okay and I'm happy to do them, but it's not really as comfortable for me as it is at a horse show. And people have asked me about kind of doing other things, show jumping, for example. I could kind of do it, but I don't know enough. So if I were to go down that route, then I would definitely need to learn some more. So I think it's about knowing your subject and being comfortable in knowing your subject. That's really the one thing, because the more you know about it, the more comfortable and the more that kind of comes across as well. I think, the more people pick up on that. And that's, people often say to me, I'm very easy to listen to. And I think that's because I'm comfortable enough to not stop or not stutter and, announcing the names right and things like that. So people are comfortable with you then when you're comfortable yourself. So definitely learn as much as you can and be comfortable in that. And like you said before, what people can do, what they can do to get to that point that they are. That's really, really important. I think leaning on other people as well to help you do your job. I know when we live streamed Grand Nationals, there were a lot of interviews. And that's because I don't know everything myself. And there's these really great stories out there with people and, a lot of history in the showing world, particularly, and really taking the opportunity to lean on those people and learn from them and share their story. Being on a microphone isn't just about you. It's about sharing the story of the show, sharing the story of the competitors, and everything else involved in the industry. I remember sitting down with Joanne Presswood from Royalwood Stud, and she's got this great stallion that has, really left his mark on the showing world. And it started with a horse that she imported, Siren Royal Portrait, who came over on a boat. And so where she gets to today with this wonderful stallion, and where it started years ago by importing a horse that, on a boat, there's a really wonderful story in that. And I really clearly remember sitting down and having that interview with Joanne and bringing that across to people, particularly showing there's a lot of new people in the industry, but there's also a lot of people that have that history. So really leaning on them and bringing that across as well is a really, I think, important tool to utilise. And there's lots of stories and lots of people at lots of different levels out there. So I think bringing that into what you do is really important. I think be open to learning is important as well. I think, like I said earlier, there's different styles with the way that people talk and announce. And I love that. And I still remember how the very first time that I wanted to become an announcer, there's a gentleman called Russ Withers who was announcing at Equitana. And I remember walking into the room and hearing his voice, and I was captivated. And, his style was really special. And I think there's different people, and the way that they express things are really differently. And I think if you learn what they do and learn how it best fits for you, but yeah, absolutely learn from other people and what they're doing and how they do it. Listen to the good ones, but also listen to the bad ones, because often you'll find out what you shouldn't be saying or how it shouldn't sort of come across. So that's really important. But I think the most important thing out of everything is to just be yourself. And that's one thing that I'm very comfortable to be in front of a microphone, but that's what people want. They don't want you to pretend to be somebody else. They don't want you to try and be something, and that will absolutely come across on a microphone as well. If you're trying to be somebody, it won't work. Like I said before, you have to know your subject and be comfortable, but absolutely be yourself. And that's what people find endearing. So doing the job that you do, but doing it in your own special way is part and parcel of it. You are a character in the play of a horse show. As much as that kind of sometimes might feel a little bit daunting, it's sort of like the pressure. It really is. You are part of the event, and it's not you as an announcer, it's you as a person. It's how you announce and what you do, the job that you do for an event. So yeah, absolutely, most importantly, be yourself. And like I said, if things go wrong or it doesn't work the way you want it to work, it's just how you roll with it. And it's not going to be 100% the first time you pick up a microphone. Absolutely. I promise you it won't be. But, the more you learn, the more you keep going, and the more the experience that you get, the more comfortable, and I guess the better you become, and the better you feel that you are. And that gives you the confidence to do bigger things, I guess.
100%. Do you have a highlight you can share with us from your career?
I think, probably Canberra Royal, the first year when we did that the live streaming, that was really, really special. I'm kind of attached to the live streaming, I think, a lot in kind of what I do. It's only because naturally that's kind of, I guess, I wouldn't say I started live streaming, but in the very beginning I was kind of involved, and I know how it works, and I'm comfortable with how that works. But yeah, Canberra Royal the first year, and having the opportunity to do that and being called up to do that was really special. Definitely live streaming Grand Nationals and having all those viewers. That's 5 long days, and Leonie Walsh is great. We work really well together. Leonie's got a very different style to me, but I think we work really well together. We think we've got a great synergy and come across differently and produce, we articulate different things differently. So I think that's really great, and that was a really special event. But yeah, I loved all of them, to be honest. I love being out there with the microphone. Whether it's a smaller show, whether it's a small breed show, whether it's a big show. I'd love to be. Well, actually, coming up, I'm looking forward to being at Canberra Royal on the microphone. So with my other life and showing horses myself, I don't get much opportunity to do it much these days. But yeah, I love it. I just love being able to, like I said, being a part of an event. Southern Cross is a special one for me too. I've been there every year since it started, so I kind of feel like, in some ways I'm the voice of that to a degree. So I take that very seriously, and it's very humbling for me to have those opportunities, and I'm really blessed to be able to bring them two together. Like I said, my love of showing and also my ability and what I do with the microphone. So, they're all really special, I guess. Yeah. Nationals is another great one. That's sort of my favorite event down here in Victoria. But yeah, I just love it. And I really love, every event. I love seeing people enjoy themselves, and I love when they achieve success. I've had some really special moments. I remember one at the Nationals when Michael Christie won with Mickey Moto. I think it's the fourth time, and the first time a Hackers won 4 times. And seeing Michael, who's a very seasoned professional, get emotional in a moment, at the Nationals, it's really special. And we are a community, and I think it's really special. So all of them, there's something at every event that I really take home with me, and I go home with a bit of a buzz, sore feet and exhausted, but with that still with that passion and a buzz.
Well, you have so much passion and a great attitude. So anyone who's watching this, if you're at a show, if you're at a horse event and you see Jeremy, go up to him, say hello, and I'm sure you can answer a lot of questions. We know you're a very busy man, so thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. I'm always there at a show. If people want to learn, absolutely come and talk to me. Like I said, I want to hand the baton on, and if there's something that I can, something I can pass on, absolutely, more than happy to.
Wonderful. Well, that's all for now here at the Show Announcers Academy. Thanks so much to my guest, Jeremy Roberts, and our partners in this series, Agricultural Shows Australia, with sponsorship from the Australian Government, the Department of Agriculture, Water and the Environment, as part of their Landcare, Smart Farms and Capacity Building program. We'll see you and maybe Jeremy at a show near you soon.